Did you know that the average cost of the engagement ring in the United States is $6,000? But you don't need to spend anywhere near that much to get something very special and unique to your love story. In this video, I'm going to share 5 tips with you that is going to help you to save significant amount of money, but at the same time, not lose this special element in your engagement ring. And stick around until the end because the 5th tip is the most important one. My name is Sergey and I'm the owner of NinaVova Custom Jewelry. We specialized on the custom engagement rings, and we believe that the value doesn't always equal the price. We believe that each engagement ring has to be unique to your love story, and that's what I want to share in this video with you. Tip number 1, do your research. Right now you have all the tools in the world to do that. You can go and watch the videos, you can read the articles, you can ask the questions to the ChatGPT or contact to us and we'll tell you all about it. The thing is, you have to go deep and be open-minded about whatever you're researching. For example, let's say you have in mind diamond engagement ring. What you're actually looking for is you're looking for the diamond look of the engagement ring. So be open-minded to the alternatives. For example, if you really want to have the natural stone, white sapphire, it might be a pretty good option for you. If it's done right, it's going to look almost identical to the actual diamond, but at the same time, it's going to cost maybe around 30% of the diamond somewhere there. So you're gonna save significant amount of money. And let's say if your budget will allow you like 0.3, 0.5 carat diamond, so a pretty tiny one, maybe you want to go and take a look at the white sapphires. And if it's done right, it's going to spark beautifully and it's going to look just amazing. At the same time, if you open to the lab options, you can go with the lab diamonds that went significantly in price in the last couple of years. You can go with the moissanites and few other options as well. Again, do your research and go deeper. For example, you set yourself on the diamonds. You don't have to go for the D color. G and H color is just fine, especially depending on the setting. If your setting is yellow 14 karat gold, you will be absolutely fine with slightly yellowish stones. It's not going to be visible that much. Also, I know you might want to get flawless no inclusion stone, but at the same time, will you see those inclusions on a daily basis? Probably not. Especially what I like to say, like imagine you wearing this ring in the months or 2 or 3 when slight dust going to start building up or other things. You're not really going to notice the difference between the absolutely flawless diamond and not really perfect one, but at the same time the price difference would be significant. Same goes to all the other stones. Let's say you chose the sapphire. Go deeper and do your research on sapphires, because the 1 carat of natural sapphire can cost anywhere from $500 to $10,000, and they're going to look dramatically different one from another. One would have very beautiful deep rich blue color and another one not going to have it. And at the same time, if you in love with this deep blue Princess Diana look and you have a very limited budget, think about the lab stone, because you're not going to get it with the natural stone, but you will easily get it with the lab stone. At the same time, do your research on the lab stones, because you don't want to buy a piece of glass, you actually want to buy the lab grown corundum, which is going to be identical to the actual sapphire, and you need to know the difference between them. Or you can trust to the reputable jeweler who's gonna guide you through the process and explain you the differences. But in any case, you need to spend a pretty significant amount of time researching, going step by step through all of the little details. In that way, first of all, you would know what you're paying for, and as a result, you're just gonna save a pretty good money. Tip number 2, be open to the alternative cuts and also be mindful of cuts. What do I mean by that? The round shaped diamonds at this specific moment is the most expensive one, about 30% more than all the others. Why? Because of the demands. They're not better or worse or anything like that. It's just simply because of the demand. And higher the demand, then higher compare the cost. For example, right now, specifically right now in November 2024, the emerald cut would cost you about 30% less than the round diamond. 3 years ago or so, the price difference was about 10%. In 70s, as far as I remember, the emeralds were much more expensive than the round because the demand was higher for the emerald. If you know those kind of things, you can save pretty good money, especially if your significant other is not set on a specific cut. Same goes for the unique cut diamonds. For example, trillion cuts or kite shapes or anything in that nature. You can save a lot of money over there. And if you will combine with the tip number 1, choosing the right color and allowing some inclusions and things like that, you can save a lot of money on that specifically. Another thing about the cuts is the visual appearance. Oval cuts going to look about 10-15% larger than the round stones. Why do you need to know that? Let's say you have a budget for 0.8 carat diamond. I would highly recommend in this case to go with the oval cut because it's going to look almost like a carat stone. The round one going to be smaller. Another thing that you need to keep in mind is that the carat doesn't refer to the size of the stone. And if you're going to buy a very deep cut, the surface of the stone naturally going to be smaller because all of the weight is going to be in that deep cut. At the same time, you don't want to go with a shallow stone because it's not going to reflect the light and not going to create the sparks. So you want to stay somewhere right in the middle. But try to avoid those deep cuts. I see a lot of them being sold and people buy them because they see, oh, it's a pretty good price for a 1 carat stone, but in reality it's going to look pretty small on the surface. Tip number 3, consider the custom design. And that's where I'm getting excited because that's my favorite thing to do, to make the custom engagement rings that are reflecting your love story specifically. And why you can save money over there? Because you control everything. You control the design, you control the choice of the stones, all of them center stone, side stones and everything like that. You control the production overall, the setting, how much is going to weight, and all of those things in between as well. So instead of paying for the setting that is already there, that is pretty generic by its nature, you're going and creating something that is special for your specific story, and you're choosing where your money goes. And the other big thing about the engagement ring, you're not paying for the brand. Lots of the time when you go and buy the engagement ring out there from the very big brands, keep in mind that you're paying for the brand a lot and you're not going to care about it when you're going to be wearing it. So that's a very important part. Tip number 4, and this one is going to be all about priorities. What is your priorities? Is it the setting of the ring itself, the design, the symbols on it that you want to incorporate, or it's the center stone? And what is about the center stone specifically? Is it the size of it? Is it the color of it? So you need to set your priorities and make sure you follow them. For example, some of the clients would really want to have a very nice nature-inspired or vintage-inspired engagement ring. And in this case, all of our thoughts going into the setting itself. I'm not saying that the center stone is not important over there, but it's less important than the setting itself. It's still going to be nice, but all of the attention going into the setting specifically. At the same time, if you want to have minimalistic, modern engagement ring, we put in all of the attention on the stone itself. We're making sure that all the money goes into the center stone and exactly where they need to go in order to get us the best thing for the budget. And the tip number 5, and that's one of my favorites because I hear about it all the time, is avoid the hidden markups. There is plenty of them out there and you just want to avoid all of them together. You want to pay for the ring itself and nothing else. What kind of hidden markups can be there? Well, first of all, it's all sort of unnecessarily certificates for the stones, for the ring itself. etc., etc. You need your certificate for your center stone, if it's diamond or the sapphire, GIA certificate, or any other reputable institution certificate, but you don't need the certificate for the side stone, especially if it's given by the store and they asking you to pay for it additionally. I see it all the time. In the future, all you need to have from that engagement ring is the receipt and sometimes the certificate of origin. That should be given to you for free with all the specification of the ring itself, center stone, side stone, the setting itself, etc., etc. But at the same time, all of those papers probably going to be useless when you go and do the insurance of this ring. Insurance companies most of the time going to ask for you to do the third-party appraisal, and after you do that, you bring this paperwork to the insurance and you see how much the ring is actually cost. And it's absolutely fine if you bought your ring from the very old, very well-known jewelry store and your appraisal value going to be less than you paid for. That is absolutely fine. You paid for the brand. And I'm actually absolutely fine with it. If you buy in the Cartier, you buy in the Cartier, you buy in the brand. But at the same time, if you bought the engagement ring for us, you can expect to be appraised 20–30% more than you paid for it. Another thing that you have to talk through in advance is resizing fee and all of those kind of things. Because some of the stores would charge you for that and some would avoid these charges for the first 1 or 2 resizes. And it's very, very common that you will need to resize your engagement ring and you will have to pay for it. And guess what? It's going to the budget of the engagement ring itself. Not really that much, maybe about $100 or so, but still it's going to go towards this budget. And if you need to resize your wedding bands, here's another $100, $200 altogether. And keep your eyes on other things like insurance or something like that. In my personal opinion, all of the jewelry like that has to go with the lifetime insurance. And if you did decide to buy additional insurance, read very carefully what exactly are you buying, because the warranty and insurance like that can be voided if the ring is damaged. So make sure the terms of the agreements that you sign it. Thank you guys for sticking until the end and watching all of the 5 tips that I hope is going to help you to choose your perfect engagement ring and pay for it exactly what it's worth. There's lots of other helpful videos on our channel. Go ahead and check it out. And if you still have any other questions, don't hesitate to make an appointment with us and I'll walk you through the process and we'll find the best solution together. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.